Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. We are back again today, and we are talking about Minnesota yet again. And yes, apparently we have some news in regards to the Senate election. Obviously, Amy Klobuchar won, and we knew she would. There would be no way in the world that Royce White would have happened to beat her. But I'll tell you, he actually did very well against Amy Klobuchar, because if you all know Amy Klobuchar and her electoral record, I believe she hasn't even got one below 60% before. Like, looking at her 2006, 2006, she won 58.6% of the popular vote. Yeah, technically I was wrong about that. She won 58.6 against Mark Kennedy. But then in 2012, she performs her biggest win in her political career. Like, look, she even won Norman County, and Norman County's barely going for Amy Klobuchar, barely going in. And you'll see counties that are in the 70% range, like Kitson County, that county's gone for her. You'll see the only counties she hasn't carried ever was Rock and Pine counties, right down your Republican strongholds in Minnesota. But then again, not really populated. Like, good for you. You won these two counties, but they're very, very, very unpopulated. You'll see she did very well in farming communities, farming areas. I believe she even won my small conservative Trump supporting city that I live in. Different times that there was, I want to believe 12 years ago. But looking at like 2018, you'll see her influence is starting to diminish. You'll see she got 60%, a 5-point underperformance according to her 2012 performance. And of course, 2024, she is now at 56%. She's going down slowly. And I'll tell you, we got a good candidate, Royce White. And if he wasn't a good candidate, then Amy Klobuchar would have won probably 60%, 62%, but he was actually a really good candidate. He is, of course, not of experienced office, and I'm very skeptical of these GOP nominees that don't come from experienced offices. But Royce White people know Royce White. I want to believe he is a part of the he's a part of the basketball. Yeah, he was a part of the Minnesota Mr. Basketball Annual Award recognizing Minnesota boys. And yeah, he's a big basketball star. And I won't say he ran as a right-wing populist. And I'm telling this because Royce White did a lot of mentioning of his race. And usually we stay away from race. And I respect Royce White. This guy was a former Democrat, definitely. I know he was talking about his mother. His mother was a first-time voting Republican in this whole entire said career, in her said life, which is amazing here. But yeah, you'll see. Yeah, it's congressional race. Well, I would say it's pretty even. You'll see the Minnesota 1st District, a solid Trump district, went for Amy Klobuchar. Am I surprised? Not really. In fact, looking at what happened 6 years ago, Klobuchar carried all 8 Minnesota districts. And thankfully, yeah, she even carried my district, but thankfully, my district stayed Republican. She almost won the 8th district of Minnesota. That was just because St. Louis County went up to 60%. Of course, I don't think it is Bemidji and in Beltrami County, that's a part of that district also. But yes, I 100% support Royce White. I voted for him. I voted for him in the primaries. If you guys, I mentioned that clearly. I voted for him. I announced I voted for him in the primaries. I felt he was the strongest guy for the job. And I'm so happy we didn't go with Joe Frazier, who I probably would think would perform even worse. I mean, like, worse than Jim Newberger, the previous nominee in 2018. I mean, this guy's a banker. I mean, when have we ever not met a banker, guys? We drive up to the bank, we see a banker. I go to the bank and they give me the teller at the bank gives me money and all that stuff. Okay, I don't sure that qualifies you to be the United States Senator. But yes, you'll see clearly Joe Frazier. And of course, the Matt Gaetz nomination did really help. Of course, Kari Lake also gave the endorsement, along with the Minnesota Republican Party, touting that, yes, Royce White is the man to go, and he definitely was. And I'm happy we gone with him. And I knew he wouldn't win this race, obviously. But for me, I was just concerned about I was wanting to break a record for me. It was more about breaking a record against Amy Klobuchar and kind of breaking, because before 2024, her worst performance would be technically in 2006, which was really, really good for a new coming senator. She was, of course, an Hennepin County attorney. She was going against Mark Kennedy, who was a U.S. representative from Minnesota's 6th Congressional District. How can an attorney defeat a U.S. congressman? You would think, ideally, that Kennedy had this in the bag. But I don't know how. Then again, there might have been some controversy, or he just really didn't know. He just really didn't know how to run a campaign. Fun fact, Patty Wetterling was in this race. And if you guys are unaware, Patty Wetterling is, of course, the mother of Jacob Wetterling. And if we all know who Jacob Wetterling is, Jacob Wetterling killed. Big, long, huge national story. He was, of course, abducted in St. Joseph, Minnesota, and eventually drove all the way to Painesville, his kidnapper, all the way to Painesville, Minnesota, where he was eventually killed and buried in a local farm, later found I think it was Painesville. His killer was from Wright County. But yes, rest in peace, Jacob Wetterling. But I'll tell you, his mother is a big DFL advocate, of course, and she announced her run for the Senate in 2006. She withdrew, although she, of course, had qualifications. She was a children's safety advocate and candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives in 2004. Did she win? No, she didn't. Coming from the solid 6th district, my district, you are unaware. I keep mentioning that. Of course, you know. The 6th district, right here. Pretty Republican. It's been a Republican stronghold for years. Of course, she didn't win. Although, yeah, you'll see here, 56% of a landslide. I wouldn't say it's a landslide. It was close. 15.8%. I would have loved to see Klobuchar dip down to the 14%, like in the likely Democrat column. And, I mean, Amy Klobuchar is the only... Hang on. Excuse me. Amy Klobuchar is the only Democrat that can actually get Minnesota into a solid Democrat margin. Tim Walz can't do it. Tina Smith can't do it. Let's see, who else can't do it? Obviously Keith Ellison, because he's just too far left. Julia Blaha, no one likes her, but people will still vote for her. She can't do it, obviously. Amy Klobuchar, for some reason, people like her. That's because she's a big union person. Huge union person. And that's why we have these rural counties. A lot of people go, ugh, why is Norman County so blue? Why is Carleton County so blue? Why is Lake County so blue? I'll tell you why. They are unionized counties. I used to be so like, why are they voting blue? Why was Norman County a Democrat stronghold for most of its history? Like, we can even look at that. very, very rarely has this county gone for Republicans. Look at this. A huge Democrat stronghold. That's because of the unions. It's a unionized county, and that's why Amy Klobuchar did so well in the blue counties in 2018. These rural areas, especially the West here, they are unionized. Especially like Swift County, big union county. It's the Republican stronghold now, but it is still a unionized county. How did she do well? She did 54%. She did better than Carver County. My county, Carver County, went to Klobuchar. I was hoping it wouldn't. In fact, I only saw 2 Klobuchar signs in this whole entire election cycle. Heck, one sign was not even in Carver County, was actually in McLeod County, where it actually voted for Royce White by 57%. But that one Klobuchar sign, I'm guessing they all the Amy Klobuchar people didn't think they needed to put the signs out, ideally because they know she's going to win regardless. It was more the Royce White signs I was seeing. And you would think, oh, Royce White's totally going to win. I knew he wasn't going to win because, you learn a lot from 2022. You're in that Republican area. Even though my city eventually voted for Royce White majoritively, I knew my county was in question. It is definitely a swing county, not the Republican stronghold it used to be. But I'll tell you, Royce White could have won my county, 51%, compared to how the county voted in 2018. It was pretty solid for Dems in 2018. Oh, look at swing. Oh, yeah, that's right, the swing. Because this makes sense. I'm like, how looking at 2016 presidential election and this, you would think it would have been a huge sweep to the left. But then you forget 2012 was a huge blue wave. So it does make sense why the swing, like all the counties are swinging right. And I will tell you again, that was the same case in 2024. Looking here, let's see, is there a map, a swing map? No, there isn't. Darn it. But yeah, this pretty much is what it looked like all the way through. This is a trend. Yeah. Carver, trending blue. The last time it's voted Republican in a class 1, in this class 1 set of election would be in 2006. Let's see, I was 2 years old. And ever since then, Carver has been blue in these said sort of races. It's interesting because Carver, very suburban, one of the most Republican at the time, according to all these rural counties. But then again, these rural counties had farmers. These farmers loved the big then. They supported the farmers union, and they were unionized. I wouldn't say every county of these are unionized. Counties like Swift, Chippewa, Norman County, big union county. Kitson County is a union county. Carlton is still a union county that's still kind of, it voted Republican for the very first time in a presidential race in over 90 years. Congratulations if you're from Carlton County. But if you're from Carlton County, keep in mind, your county's a union county. And the idea is eventually maybe that county will swing more rightward, like Swift County and Chippewa County, these former Democrat strongholds. That eventually swing because, of course, Democrats, Kamala Harris, they've abandoned workers. They've taken on identity politics. That's not going to help the individuals from these said counties. And if, of course, Donald Trump and his administration is successful, where, of course, he's appointing and expanding these, of course, making this alliance, this bipartisan alliance, then you would see Carlton County potentially be a Republican stronghold. That would be amazing to see. Winona County, I want to focus on Winona. It's I would say it's not the least. Norman County is the least liberal out of all of them, but Winona County is just mind-boggling because this is a county that voted for Biden, barely. But you'll see Winona Trump counties, 3-time Trump counties, by the way, Mower County, Rice County, along with Carver County, Anoka County, Scott County, all these counties, Monoman County, Beltrami County. These counties are more liberal than Winona County. And this is speaking volume, because if we could take a look at Winona has been a Democrat stronghold throughout these state elections. But it has served as a swing state in some areas. Yes, swing county here. It's voted a big Democrat track record. 1992 all the way up. Yeah, it was, it said, it's a big swing county. It's been rumored to predict elections. It, in the said presidential level, they have been right since 2008. Not the state, by the way, because obviously Winona voted for Trump and Kamala won the state. But yeah, look at this number. I'm going to take this. It's over 5. Is it really over 5%? Because if it's over 5%, this is speaking volume. We could potentially say that Winona County, it's not over 5% yet, but it's 4.89. This speaks volume, like I said. Winona is almost a Republican county. And the reason why Winona is a Democrat county, it's because of the universities. Then again, all these universities, you can eventually point out why each county is Democrat. I would like to take out that 2020 map, because I consider that to be the average, if you will. But yes. Okay, so these are unionized counties. I mean, St. Louis is a mix of unions and, of course, Duluth, which is a big college city. There's Lake County. A lot of people say, it should be Republican. Nope, it's a union county. And yes, unions are going right. Still a lot of work, though. Cook County, big union county. Although it has been a Republican stronghold, there's been a lot of rivals there. A lot of registered Republicans, but they're hardcore Democrat supporters. Carleton, unionized county. Clay County is a college county. University of Moorhead. Nicollet, influenced by the University of Mankato, which is in Blue Earth County. You got Hennepin and Ramsey. They have the two major cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And the metro stretches into Washington and the Dakota counties, resulting to them being blue. You got Rochester, Minnesota, resulting to, of course, Olmsted County being blue. And of course, last but not least, Winona County. There's Winona State University is there. That's resulting to this county being blue. So you get what I'm saying. Winona County. I mean, why is Winona County blue? I mean, obviously, College County, like Blue Earth County, voted for Trump. Even when their running mate, Tim Walz, Kamala's running mate, Tim Walz, is actually from the county. Mankato Tim. I mean, he's from Blue Earth, Nicollet counties, right? In these light blue county area. People know him there. They voted against him. Speaks a lot. Winona County voted, and I mean, there are counties where there's universities. There's St. John Abbey's in Stearns County, St. John Abbey University, but that's a Catholic university. And then again, Catholic universities kind of purge the wokeness out of their universities. They hire non-woke professors. So then again, not surprising. Stearns has a lot of Catholic. It's a huge Catholic county. They have a lot of universities, a lot of Catholic colleges all across the county, of course. And then they're not colleges, they're universities. You got St. John's, you got St. Benedict's universities, all these universities across the said county, but however, they're non-woke. So if there's a good university, you might want to set up for the Catholic ones. I mean, if you're non-Catholic, I mean, I guess there's a Lutheran university somewhere, but nearest here, but I can trust St. John Abbey's. But yeah, you'll see, this is pretty much the look out here But back to Winona County. Yeah, this county, a historic trend, big trend in for the left. Huge record. I would say this is the biggest win since 1984 in Winona County for Republicans. Yeah, this was a landslide win. So I would say yes, definitely. Seeing the results here, yeah, Winona County went for Amy Klobuchar as we knew it would, but this is a university county. You would thought it would go for her more, but it didn't. It actually went for her than less than a point, and actually not less than a point, 3 points fairly. But you'll see, it is obviously like Carver County is technically more liberal now than Winona. It's just mind-boggling. Just absolutely mind-boggling. It's just, I can't wrap my mind around it. And it could very well, I would say if what it's looking like right now, Winona County will stay in the Republican camp in 2028. That's what it's looking like right now, especially with neighboring Mower County. Same deal. It has Austin, Minnesota. But Mower, and yeah, it's not that it has Austin. Austin has barely anyone. Big city, though, but it's unionized. Minnesota has the unionized counties, the farmer union. But this county went to Trump 3 times so far. But yes, obviously. But yeah, Winona will probably vote Republican like it did in every race in 2022. In some cases, you will call it a Republican county. I would agree. This county voted against Tim Walz in the governor's race. It voted for Klobuchar, as we knew. She's a very strong figure, but the fact that she's barely polling in Winona, it just shows that, yeah, this county's, Democrats are done carrying this county. I don't know what, like all the woke students are leaving. We actually got smart students coming in. But yeah, believe it or not, we've talked a lot, and we actually have a couple more races here. We got a Chief Justice race, which, of course, looking at this Chief Justice race, you got Mr. Hudson. He won 64% of the popular vote. He is, of course, the Chief Justice. Let's see. Yeah, 64%. I believe I voted for. Did I vote for Hudson? I don't know. I honestly didn't vote in these Supreme Court races. I might have checking something I didn't really think I was checking off, but Hudson. I'm seeing that this individual is incumbent. I would be like, oh boy, this is probably a wokester. When you think of it, all of these seem to be incumbent. Let's see. Minnesota Supreme Court elections. Let's see what they have to say. All right. Okay, Natalie Hudson. Yeah, she's a liberal. 64%. She got 1 million votes. This is, of course, I think I voted for Emory. I don't honestly know. Is she incumbent? Yeah, I voted for Emory. Yeah, I always vote against the incumbents. And I'll tell you this, every incumbent justice is a Democrat. I mean, Democrats have controlled the governor's mansion for 20 years now. It's insane. Absolutely. Okay, now we got a landslide performance for McCaig's seat. Annie K. McCaig. I don't know if I voted for her, or I just checked out, or I probably wrote someone in. I wrote in Scott Jensen. I wrote in Matt Burke. I wrote in a lot. You can even write in yourself. How crazy is that? But of course, they're anonymous. They can't just. They're very personal. They can't really release all those names. Then you got. I voted for Matthew Hansen, in case you are unaware. Matthew Hansen for Proconi's seat. He's incumbent, and of course Carl Proxini. I don't know how you pronounce it. Proxini won 56% of the popular vote. Are there maps for these? I doubt it. I extremely doubt it. We can go to the 2024 Minnesota races, but I doubt it. Go all the way down. Judicial races. Yada, yada. Okay, contested judicial races. Seat 12. Okay, these are judicial districts. This is the Minnesota Appeals Court. This is Minnesota Supreme Court elections. Yeah, I don't think we had any appeals court races. And then again, I think okay, this is statewide. Okay, Brett Vold. I voted for Jonathan R. Woosley. Brett Vold won 63%, possibly carrying every county, it seems, or that's what it's looking like. 2nd District, 4th District, all these states. Yeah, I think that's it in regards to the review. No, does not really look like we got any maps, sadly, on the results. I don't think we'll get any. But what do you guys think in regards to our video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.